Has Taika Waititi lost his fastball? I just saw his new movie, Next Goal Wins, so here are my mostly spoiler-free thoughts about it. I'll give you a heads up before heading into any spoiler territory. I found myself in a Michael Fassbender double feature this weekend, having seen The Killer on Friday night and seeing Next Goal Wins on Sunday. And before I get into anything else about this soccer movie, can we just take a second to appreciate Michael Fassbender? He has the range. He can really do it all. It's kind of spectacular. In this film, he plays the crap out of what Waititi has given him, elevating so much of what's on the page. He's finding a depth that I don't even think Waititi was capable of writing. So Taika Waititi's found himself in the middle of this ongoing project in which he's applying his talents to different genres. And the results have been all over the place. From What We Do in the Shadows, to Jojo Rabbit, to the two Thor movies, and to now Next Goal Wins. The through line across this journey of genres, I think, is that when Taika Waititi gives himself the freedom to break away from the restraints and the formats of these genres, be it a superhero movie or a vampire movie, these films really soar, especially when he leans into the absurd juxtaposition of his dry sense of humor against massive stakes, sometimes literal stakes. And so Next Goal Wins finds Waititi doing his version of the underdog sports story. It's Bad News Bears, it's Karate Kid, which he mentions a few times in the movie, and yeah, it's Ted Lasso, down to the exact sport, even though this is based on a true story. Unfortunately, what the genre is calling on him to do in this movie is weighing him down. It almost felt like Taika felt obligated to go through the motions of what this genre is supposed to be. And because of that, the movie just feels a little predictable. When Taika is letting himself be witty Taika Waititi, it works. The script is funny. The humor is pure and entertaining. I laughed a lot. It's one of the funnier movies to come out this year. Now, Taika Waititi's sense of humor might be repellent to you. If you hate his sense of humor, this movie is not going to be for you. But his American Samoan cast, specifically Oscar Kitely, who plays the team's manager, are fantastic at delivering Waititi's brand of humor, charm, and goofy earnestness. The dramatic storyline of this movie doesn't exactly work for me. It falls into some trappings of a white savior narrative, which I didn't love, and I think that the journey that Waititi put Michael Fassbender's character through is a little cliche. It did a lot of telling rather than showing. Okay, so here is a bit of a spoiler. I'm going to talk vaguely about this, but it does enter spoiler territory. A huge dramatic element of this movie hinges on a surprise twist. It comes during the final pep talk that the coach is giving the team in the big game, and it just doesn't work. Fassbender does his best to sell it, but it ends up coming across as confusing and cheap. It feels like Taika Waititi is trying to pull the rug out from under you to move you, but instead I just felt betrayed from what had come before when this twist was revealed. And I wonder what the movie had been like if I had had that information up front all along throughout the entire story. Perhaps I would have been more invested in Michael Fassbender's character from the jump, and then some of his arc would have worked better. Because having his motivation come in the form of a twist at the end of the movie leaves the rest of the movie just feeling hollow. I do want to give a special shout out to the amount of transgender inclusion that there was in this movie. Waititi foregrounds a trans female character who is integral to the actual story. She's a real person and was on the team, and I think having that representation was great, and provided an antidote to some of the other cliches. In the end, I had an enjoyable time with Next Goal Wins, though it's not Taika Waititi's best movie by a long stretch. If you're a fan of his, I don't think he's lost his fastball. What I got from this movie was about what I expect from him now. And so I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I'm still on board with him as a filmmaker, and we'll see the next thing that he makes. But if you've started to sour on Taika Waititi as a director and writer, I don't think this film's going to convince you otherwise.